morning, everybody. I'm Tom Vasel.
I'm Misty.
I'm Vash the Stampede.
All right, I'm sick of Halloween. I got to be honest. I don't dislike Halloween, but there's two reasons I'm waiting for it to be over. One, it's been like a 4-day holiday. There's been activities all weekend for kids.
I've never seen it this bad when Halloween was on a Monday. Back in my day, Halloween was Monday. It wasn't Friday, and also Saturday, and also kind of stuff on Sunday.
No kidding. Everyone everywhere is doing a thing, and your kids are like, what about that one? Like, oh, good, because we need more candy.
You know what my grand plan is Zatanna did all that other stuff, and so tonight we're all going to sit out in chairs in our parking lot, and we're going to hand out all the candy that we don't want. She's going to keep 10 pieces.
We're going to throw dots at all the
coppers.
coppers.
The rest of it's gone.
I'm not that cruel to my children, but
we make our kid give away
I have so
half
much
our haul.
candy. Anyway, it's not that it's candy. It's just it's like a busy weekend. Like all weekend, I was like, what's next? What's the next thing? Anyway, that's one reason. The other reason I can't wait for Halloween to be over is because I would like to turn on my streaming services and not have them recommend 200,000 horror movies to me. You know, that's fine if you like horror movies. I'm trying to scroll through. Would you like to watch this? I would not.
We want to watch Hocus Pocus 2. No!
I did watch that.
I don't even remember the first one. So.
Oh, I loved the first
one. It's a kid's movie.
It's very
well, no, I just say I don't remember it.
Yeah.
That's all.
I loved it. I've watched that a lot.
Anyway, we got a lot of announcements here, so buckle in. First of all, our Halloween contest. This is from Pandasaurus, sponsored by Pandasaurus Games. It's for a copy of Skate Summer. I was about to point to Skate Summer. That's not Skate Summer, that's Wolves, which we just reviewed. But Skate Summer, a game that was very highly reviewed by the Dice Tower. I've not played it yet. I need to get around to it. But you can win a copy of this by emailing us at contest@dicetower.com. In the subject line, put the word skater, and in the body, answer this question. How many different trick types are there? I'm assuming they mean in the game, because there's millions of tricks in the world.
Right. There's 900. There's the 901 degree, a little riskier. 902 degrees, even riskier.
Anyhow, and also put your address in the body. So there you go. That is our contest. Also, tomorrow at noon Eastern Standard Time, that is correct, because it's daylight, it's Eastern Daylight Time. The clocks change this coming weekend. Change your clocks if you're old-fashioned.
Gosh, do they? We're still doing that?
I think this is the last year. I think. Also, no one in the world needs to change their clocks unless for some reason you're still going by that little alarm clock that you wind up each night.
Smashes with a hammer.
Your microwave.
Your car.
Your oven.
New microwaves change.
Your car. They do?
Yes. You're right. The oven, that tool of thing you always look at when you're running somewhere in the morning. You're like, look at the oven.
My daughter has a CD player alarm clock, so we're going to have to change hers as well.
But the thing is, you run your life, probably most people, by the alarm on your phone. Almost everyone does that now. And your phone changes. And I still have people every year and then on Monday people are going to be like, oh, this hour change. My tolerance for that is really low. It's a single hour. You'll be fine.
I hate it. I hate it so much.
You get an extra hour of sleep.
Yeah, because in the spring I'm going to lose that hour of sleep.
Well, that is dumb. I agree.
Yeah.
And if we have it this spring and then we stay on Eastern Daylight Savings Time, you'll never get that hour back. Anyway, Sharon is probably watching this and wondering why I'm talking about this rather than Dice Tower East. Look, Dice Tower East tickets go on sale tomorrow at noon.
Of course.
So that's the 1st of November. So yeah, now, no kidding, last year it sold out. So do not delay. Get your ticket. We'll have links all over the place on Facebook, everywhere else. And they're going to be on tabletop.event. Adult badges, 140. There's only some kids badges, so you can get those for 115. Again, this is plus the fees on the website. There's going.
Sharon's in the chat.
If you've never been, we're at the Caribe Royale in Orlando, one of the nicest hotels you'll ever be to. An amazing pool, amazing. Every room is a suite, so it's a good money saver because you can put food in your fridge, and there's a microwave, I think, in every room, right?
Yeah, when we were there was a microwave.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you can go shopping when you first get there and save a lot of money if you want to. Also, just a really nice place to play games. And, of course, we have the Dice Tower Gaming Library, which gets better all the time. 100-plus games are being added to it currently. Will they all be there by Dice Tower East? Who knows? But other ones will be. Great games all around. So, we're also looking for volunteers, for people, after you purchase your badge, we're looking for people to help volunteer and make the con run as smoothly as possible. We're really excited about this, and I'm not saying that like in some sort of
dastardly
No. I really like Dice Diaries. We had a great time this past year. It was a little stressful because we were not sure what it would be like to run a con after a couple years of COVID and everything. And you know what? Everything went pretty smoothly, so I'm going into this year with a whole lot more confidence.
I think so.
So it's in July, so we'd love to see you there.
And I'll just put a good word in for volunteering at a convention. If you've never gone to a convention before, if this is going to be your first one, I think volunteering is a really fantastic way to kind of get familiarized with it, meet people. It makes it so much easier than to go game with people because you've already met folks from your volunteering time. Highly recommend. We did that for our first convention. Made it so much better.
Super worth it. Definitely. I also want to put a plug out there for DTV Audio. So we take a lot of the videos, our best videos, and we turn them into audio files, and you can get that on any podcast streaming service that you do. It's good stuff.
We're not done yet. There's also Dice Tower West is still open for registration, and that's coming up very soon, at the beginning of the year. And Dice Tower Cruise has, as of last night, only 18 rooms left. We will shut down registration for that very soon. You don't have a whole lot of time left, but if you'd like to come on a fantastic cruise with us in January, you can check out dicetowercruise.com. And then finally, would you like some Dice Tower swag? Dicetowerstore.com has all kinds of different shirts, mugs, and other goodies, so you'll be able to get them there. All right, I think that is all the announcements. Wow. Let's keep going.
Hi, it's Tarrant.
And Stella from Maple University. Wow, we have Evergreen, Tarrant.
Yes.
This is a game that I picked up from Gen Con that is going to be released also at Essen. And this is by the designer of photosynthesis. But wait, some people might not like photosynthesis. I wouldn't say I hate it, but it's really tough for the spatial rotation. Now Evergreen is similar-ish but different but better.
Yeah, it certainly takes the same mechanism, just something we see from time to time. You see a designer take really their own revolutionary mechanism that they've used in a previous game and then just put it onto a different game. You know, I'm reminded of Selenia and Black Angel, for example. That was
yes.
a light game and then
good
quite
one.
a heavy Euro that were by the same designer and used the same track mechanism in it. So this one uses the same sun rotating around the board.
But there are only 4.
Yep. And trees casting shadows and getting light based on whether they're in the shadow or not.
And this is much easier than photosynthesis to figure out where it is. You have your own board and you just place trees, and then simple as small tree gives 1 shadow, and then the big trees give 2 shadows. You don't want to be behind shadows to end points or to get the points. So yeah, we really enjoyed this game. Actually, it's definitely better than photosynthesis. So recommend it. Check it out.
Indeed.
Thanks for watching. Bye.
Hello, this is Oliver, and as many of you may know, on my YouTube channel, I do video game and board game content on my YouTube channel, but today we are going to be talking about a video game themed board game again. And the theme of the video game themed board game is Battle Royale, and this game is called Reload. Some Battle Royale games include Call of Duty, Overwatch, Fortnite. And speaking of Fortnite, on my channel, Codes Nanotype, I have this series that I play Fortnite with my grandma, and I think you guys should go check it out on my channel. But we're really going to be talking about Reload today, so let's unpack. What I like about Reload is that the theme is very well established, and it hits home a lot. I really love this theme. Another thing I like is there is a fame tracker, kind of reminiscent of Hunger Games, because in Hunger Games, you are trying to become famous while also trying not to die. So, yeah, I think that's also a cool aspect. Another thing is that you can set up a trap for your opponents. So if they go in the trap, they have to play rock, paper, scissors. If they lose rock, paper, scissors, they have to take a few points of damage, and if they win, they get to escape the trap completely. So I think that part of the game is cool. But one thing I dislike is there's a lot of components in the game, and it gets a little fiddly. But overall, the game is really awesome. I really think you guys should play it, and I'm looking forward to get a few more plays in. And, well, may the odds be in your favor, and have a great breakfast. Bye.
All right, today we're talking about a game from 20 years ago called Clippers. Now, Clippers is from Alan Moon. It was a remake of an older game, which I've not played, called Santa Fe. Also, they made a game called Santa Fe Rails. Santa Fe came out in 1992. Santa Fe Rails came out in 2001. We're talking about Clippers, which came out in 2002.
These are all very exciting themes.
Yes. Well, I was excited about it. You can see here in the picture that it's like a connecting routes. Definitely, it looks like a train game.
Yeah.
As you connect routes going across board, and it's a pretty solid game. This is before Alan Moon was uber famous. This is before Ticket to Ride. He was still pretty famous because he had won a Spiel des Jahres with Elfenland, one of those two. Yeah. In this one, you're making trading settlements on islands in the Pacific. You're making trade routes. And I have given this one a 7.5. The reason that this game did not do particularly well, even back in the day when boring themes like this were very commonplace, so this is not, is because, and it's hard to see here in that picture. Can we zoom in on that picture, Mike? Like, really zoom in. Whoa.
There you go. This is a good framing. No. Go back to covering Tom.
Oh, keep going. Zoom in more.
I'm in here somewhere.
Okay, so if you see...
Look at me. Ow.
In between those little areas are the player markers, and they're little flags on really, really tiny circles. They're the kind of circles that in most games that if you punch them out, you think it's a thing you throw away.
Okay.
Got it.
And those are your player control markers. They are the ones that show you where everything is. This game would have done so much better with cubes, for example, in these spots. Those are the type of piece that if you fall into 4, you're never seeing it again. It's really terrible. It actually makes the game, I mean, I'm curious here because there's a lot of comments on the game. Like if I go look at the comments, I'm just pull up the comments here. Route building, need to upgrade some pieces. For future games, I intend to use wooden cubes as the port markers to make it easier to glance to see who needs to go to what cities. The components do suck, though. This says this person who gave it a 7. The microscopic chips should be placed by cubes immediately. And this is a general thing here, even from people who like the game. Some people don't like it, obviously. But even the people who like it come in and say, these components are pretty terrible. It's a dry route building game. You know, I liked it, you know. I don't know how much I would like it now. It's been a long time since I played these kind of games.
Right.
But those pieces have ingrained themselves in my memory as some of the worst ever in a game. So
that's amazing, Tom. Like, that's odd to hear you say these should be upgraded to cubes.
I know. I mean, I'm not anti-cubes. Right. I don't like using cubes in games where another shape or something would be better. Like, let's say that I still get annoyed by the pink cubes in Kalis, our food.
It's so funny.
Like a block of, I don't know,
It's a block of ham.
It's a hunk of meat.
I would rather just have, like a little piece of meat or whatever. But
well, we could upgrade these to little ships, like really teeny tiny ships.
No, but you need to be able to glance at the board and see where you're going and everything. So, anyhow, that's Clippers.
Hi, everybody.
Hello, we are Ryan and Bethany.
From Ryan and Bethany Board Game Reviews.
All right, today we're talking about My Little Pony Adventures in Equestria. All right, this is a cooperative deck building game where you are trying to get your ponies, your little guys, to face 3 hurdles, and ultimately a final challenge cooperatively. You're gathering sugar cubes, which makes sense thematically for what's going on in My Little Pony. If you're able to do all of that, you and your team are going to win the game.
This game was cute, fun, and I really enjoyed it, and I felt like they, it wasn't a kid's, this is not like a kid's game. Kids can play it, right? And I'm sure older kids would thoroughly enjoy this because ours did, but it's not necessarily like a kiddie game. There's a lot going on here with the challenges and then the different places you can travel to, also while deck building. So while, like, it was fun for adults. The adults here liked it.
Yeah, this is a family style game, right?
Yeah.
The cooperative deck building. Every time I see a cooperative deck builder, I get excited because I love when those two things blend together. Those are two of my favorite kind of mechanisms to have in games, and this did it really, really well. I like it when deck builders do things in addition to just building decks with cards. Not that I mind that, but at the same time, when there are additional elements, I really pay attention. And this had just this really, really small thing of moving around on a small little board, kind of like a Clank, where you're moving around from a board going from top to bottom. This had a really, really small version of that, which made the game had that little extra something to it that I enjoyed.
Everybody, thank you so much for watching. If you want to hear more from us, you can find us on YouTube. We are Ryan and Bethany Board Game Reviews, or you can find us in all of these places. Everybody, this is Ryan and Bethany, hoping you have a happy, healthy breakfast.
Bye,
guys.
All right, so for the Dice Tower this week, we are reviewing several games. We'll talk about actually some live stuff first. So today we have Q&A with Chris.
That's me.
That's at noon. And
It
then,
was me all along.
Oh, you're Chris. Isn't that what the C on your hat is for?
Mm-hmm.
At 3 o'clock, I'm doing At the Table with Eric Summer and Emerson Matsucci. So come on by and listen to one of the best designers ever. What's happening with Z at 10 o'clock? That's the nearest thing. That's 44 minutes away. He's playing Llama Dice. This is spelled with one L. Is it with one L?
The American version is. The international version is not.
I love how you do that
it's the
time
other way
math
around. The
so
other way
quickly.
around.
It just blows my mind. Like, I didn't even look at the clock yet, and you
Oh.
already knew that it was 44 minutes away.
Well, I don't. Okay.
Just
tomorrow.
blows my mind.
Well, thank you. Tomorrow, we're starting the Disney Sorcerer's Arena Championship, where everyone here is going to play Disney Sorcerer's Arena, and there will be only one winner. Hopefully not Roy, but it's probably going to be Roy. But you
gonna
never
be
know.
Roy.
And who are you up against?
I'm up against Roy first. He's going down.
So tomorrow's Wendy's last game.
It was a short and sweet run, y'all. Thanks.
We got, of course, Kickstarter crowd surfing on Wednesday. We have on Thursday, you're doing the top 10 games a bard would love. I think that's the name of it. Something like that.
Yes.
Bard would write songs about
sing
something. Yeah,
about?
something to that effect. Yeah.
So come on and see what that's all about. You can also go vote for that on our website right now. We got a lot of other, and then we got a live play of On the Underground on Friday. So looking forward to seeing that with the new maps. So lots of different reviews this week. The big reviews are going to be Dune Imperium Expansion, Immortality, Star Wars Clone Wars, and we're going to review an app, Marvel Snap. Yes. You know that last night I was playing Marvel Snap was the first time I ever heard the sound effects for it. I always play my stuff quietly because of wherever I'm at.
I always play on silent. Yeah.
Yeah, so I turned them off.
Oh.
But anyhow.
Does it make snappy noises all the time?
No, because the guy says
obnoxiously?
frame break, and after a while, frame break gets really annoying to hear.
Oh, okay.
I might have to go listen to the audio now, just to see if it lowers my score.
You know what this makes me think of, actually? It makes me think of Spider-Man 3 when he's like finger gunning it.
It is.
And snapping
no.
and dancing.
That's not what it. No.
That is the
It's like
Marvel
the
Snap.
worst scene ever.
There's no
Other
more
reviews that are
famous snap
happening this
in
week.
all of Marvel.
Trudvang. I'm taking a look at Trudvang. We're taking a look at Overstocked. I don't know why I'm looking at this one. They're sitting right there. Sounds Fishy, Cactus, Monster Soup, Perfect Shot, Spots, and a Shark's Feeding Frenzy. That's not going to get a good review. And a Dungeon Fighter Collector's Edition. Also, you guys are reviewing Connecting Flights. Also a very positive review. Siege of Valeria. And possibly more reviews will pop up throughout this week. But a lot of different things going on. Come back and check it all out. Oh, and Board Game Smorgasbord is on. That's not on the schedule. Yeah, it is.
Thursday.
That's on Thursday. I can't read.
Thursday.
All right, let's keep moving.
Good morning, Board Game Breakfast. My name is Amanda Polk, and while I'm usually here talking to you about games I'm really looking forward to playing in the future and what of the thousands of games that are available to play in the meantime I'm going to play to scratch that itch, I'm actually spending a few weeks going over some of the things I was really excited about and what happened when I actually finally got my hands on them. And this week, the game is Golem. Now, this is one that I was just enthusiastic about, a Jewish mysticism-themed game. And it did not disappoint on being a great heavy Euro game. I gotta say, it is not a game that's easy to teach. There's just a bunch of little things that people have to learn. It takes a minute to pick up, and I think most people leave their first game. If they really like a good heavy Euro game, folks have said, okay, I really want to get into that one again, play it again so that I can like feel like I know what I'm doing, I can get something going. And then for some folks, they left their first game feeling like, okay, that was a lot, and it's maybe not for me. So it's been a smaller pool of players than some other games might have. But for the people who like it, we've loved it, and I'm certainly one of the people who have liked it. One of the drawbacks is that it didn't come with great player aids. There was like a player aid that gave you sort of a run through of the actions, but there's all of this information that was in the rule book that some delightful person put up on Board Game Geek, all of the bits cut together so you can print it out on one sheet of paper. So I've included these in my game to make it easier so that everybody has the reference materials. Makes turns go a little bit faster. It's still an investment, a time investment to play Golem, but I really enjoy it. It's a great, like very low luck, high strategy Euro game with plenty of opportunities for upgrading pieces, which I've also done a great bit of. But this one I've been pleased with that I was looking forward to, and that is Golem. Hope you have a great breakfast, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.
If you are anything like me, then you probably like to take chances on games. I love games, love playing games, and I love being around people to play games. So I take a chance on a lot of games maybe I've never heard of. Sure, I'll play that because I play a lot of different games. If you want to have a collection that's down in numbers, you're going to have to get rid of mediocre games. There are going to be a lot of games that you like, but you want to keep the games that you love. If you merely like a game, it's an easy opportunity to get rid of it. Here's another thing I do. My spouse is probably the person I play games with the most. If my spouse absolutely doesn't like a game and I don't love it, easy way to purge a game. Now, if I loved it and she didn't, then I would find somebody else to play it with, perhaps. And if I can't, then maybe it'll sit on my shelf for a long time, because that's how I operate. But if you have nobody to play a game with, you only liked it, your main gaming partner didn't like it, that's a great opportunity to go get rid of a game. One of the fun things I like to do is go through my collection with my spouse. I like her to be able to pick out games that she likes, and those are games that I'm going to keep. And we might even discuss the game. Did you really like that game? Or, but if she really likes a game and I absolutely hate it, who is she going to play it with? Because I'm the one that brings the games out. So we might have a conversation about that, and she'd be happy to get rid of a game. But there are games that she really likes and would never get rid of. So kind of go through with your spouse of your games. Like, are you ever going to play this with me? And that's a great way to get rid of games and keep games, and also bring games that you forgot about back into the limelight. So I hope this helps create a discussion. You'll go back to your collections and start doing this and separating your games into games I play with my spouse, and these are games that we enjoy experiencing together.
All right, let's continue taking a look at the Dice Tower library shelf by shelf. We're on shelf 1, Rack D. Or rack shelf, whatever, here it is. All right, this is shelf 1D. We'll start by calling it the Ryan Lockett shelf, because that's where we put the Red Raven games. We have the Above and Below, the sequel to it, Near and Far, and then the sequel to that, Now or Never. This one is the most critically acclaimed, although this one I think might have sold the most, I don't know. Islebound, a very much forgotten Ryan Lockett game, but a very good one about kind of area control and moving around on islands. The Ancient World, about stopping giant colossi from destroying cities. Empires of the Void 2, Ryan's not quite 4X game, but pretty close to a neat space game. I mean, it is a neat space game, but pretty close to 4X. City of Iron 2nd Edition. All three of these games are the second editions of the original ones, and all three of them are better. City of Iron, his deck builder. Sleeping Gods, his most famous game at this point, a big storytelling adventure game. So a lot of cool Ryan Lockett games. Then we have Era. This is a city building game, kind of a roll and write game, but a much bigger one than you might think. Expansity, this is another city building game, but this one's with cards, a lighter one, but very good. Northwind. Northwind is a retheming of the Starship Catan, which is a 2-player version of Starfarers of Catan, which is a version of, well, Catan. But they remade the whole thing. You would never know it's the same game, honestly, at this point. Northwind, a neat pirate exploration game. And then, of course, Wingspan. What more can we say? Wingspan's popular enough to have 2 copies in the library.
But no longer 3 copies.
Huh?
But no longer 3 copies.
It was 3 copies,
I burned one.
It's down at, yes, Wendy has a...
I have a dislike for Wingspan. I know, I'll get hate for it, but it's me being honest.
Yeah, okay, well, anyhow, you know, I just realized that I'll tell you what, these pictures, right, I take like a...
You do the panorama?
Panorama, I just noticed that the one game got squished next to Northwind. See the Era?
Oh, that's hilarious. Era is not that slim of a box. I haven't played
But then
Era.
you have that whole space next to Wingspan that's like nothing.
Well,
When you're saying, good going, Tom.
I'm telling you, this is easier for short people. Maybe one of y'all can do it next time. I'm like laying on the floor trying to be smooth coming across.
Yeah,
for the middle shelf, I
definitely
used to, I know, but for me, I used a stool to slide across for the middle shelf, and then the bottom one I can't do that because I need one of those. I need a skateboard. Just kind of.
Oh, you should push one of those wheelie chairs all the way down. No, they probably don't go that low.
No, but we were saying those boards you used in high school in the gym. Did you ever see those?
Yeah, like you crab race on or whatever.
Yes.
Yeah.
Anyhow,
what we need is a $20,000 crane.
I'll let you guys go first because, but yeah, this shelf is not bending. The shelf is fine. It's a bad picture.
It's a bad panorama. This is where Wendy and I show our ignorance of Ryan Lockett, of Red Raven Games. Actually, we've dabbled in some. Like, we have not played that much of Sleeping Gods. I really enjoy it.
I played like an hour and a half of Sleeping Gods. I'm going to choose 8 Minute Empire. I'm going to add that to the shelf now. Officially,
I think 8 Minute Empire is somewhere else in the library, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
That's going to be like
Legends
a year and
anyway.
a half from now.
It's now
we'll get
over
to
here.
It.
I don't like Wingspan, and I played Sleeping Gods, and I don't think I've played anything else on that shelf.
Really?
Yes.
No, I'm not kidding when we say that. We have a lot of ignorance.
I keep meaning to, like...
Wow, so you played Era.
All of those near and far above.
Oh yeah, there's that other
belows,
city building game. You didn't play that one? The one that got squished in there from Breaking Bad?
From Breaking Bad?
Expansity. You've not played Expansity?
No, I haven't, no. Era, I avoided... Not really avoided, but I didn't want to pay for it because it seemed like a roll and write.
It is very expensive for what is essentially a roll and write. Although I like the pieces. If you like, have you played Roll Through the Ages?
No.
All right, I'm feeling very, very secure in my board game knowledge right now. Wow. Okay, so
I know so much about pretty much all of these, but the one that I have actually played that I enjoy, because I also dislike Wingspan.
But not as much as me.
Mostly, yeah. Empires of the Void 2. It's actually a really great game. It's very... I don't know, it's not talked about very often.
Did you play that at Dice Tower West when they brought it there as a demo? Or I think it might have been MeepleCon at that point.
No, I saw him demo it, like showing it off to people. But no, I tried it with my Vegas game group a year or two after that when it came out. It's really solid. It's a lot of fun. It's very different from your typical 4X type game.
Yeah,
build up a bunch of troops and go smash things. No,
it's like a worker selection, not even really worker placement. You pick an action. I mean, there are workers, but it's one action you're picking, and then...
Okay, they're just action points, basically.
But it has some really neat things. Like if you take over certain planets, you might get a spaceship nobody else has.
Yeah.
You'll get things no one else has. It's fun.
Yeah, I really like it. It's an immense amount of setup, though. It's
It
probably
is.
the biggest downside of the game.
This is a tough one for me. I really like Sleeping Gods a lot, but I think I'm going to go with Near and Far still. I mean, Near and Far, of those games, it would be Near and Far, Sleeping Gods, Islebound, Above and Below, Now or Never. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm forgetting all the other ones. Let me redo that again. Here we go. Near and Far, Sleeping Gods, then Islebound. Then we jump over to Empires of the Void 2, then to City of Iron, then Ancient World, then Above and Below, then Now or Never, which is sad because Now or Never is his newest game. I also really like Wingspan. I like every game on the shelf. Every single one I like. But we're going to go with Near and Far because Near and Far is the perfect mix of story but also really good game. Now or Never and Above and Below went on the game side of things, which is fine. Now or Never is a little too long. Above and Below, the game is fine, but the story is not interesting. And then Sleeping Gods, Went really heavy on the story, but I like the game in near and far better. All right. Anyhow, there we go.
Hey there everyone, it's Jen the Board Game Librarian, flipping some pages and pushing some cubes with my segment From the Page to the Table, where I pair books and board games together that share a common theme. This is one that I've read recently. It's a real old-timey kind of book, right? No fancy cover on it. It is We Have Always Lived in the Castle by Shirley Jackson. You probably know Jackson from either The Lottery, that weird, well, not weird story a lot of us read in middle school, or of course The Haunting of Hill House. So here we have kind of a creepy and unsettling story of two sisters and their uncle who live in this house where most of the family members were killed, they were poisoned. And how they're seen from the town, and then this very distant family member who comes along and is trying to take over some of this. So we've got this like kind of dilapidated house that's going along, and just what's going on with the sisters? Did one of them murder the parents? Did they not? And what happened there? So a recent acquisition that came in from Kickstarter is Don't Go In There. 2 to 5 players, ages 14 and up, 10 minutes per player. So the whole shtick with this one is that it's an actual dice tower. So here we have a dilapidated house, kind of creepy vibes, and you're going through rooms and areas of this house and trying to stave off curses and collect things. Same makers of Canvas, so this is their most recent one, and it's got some innovation going on. I love that the box is the dice tower. It's really compact in there. And I think it's another great title for being a great welcoming game. You could teach this to a lot of different folks, and I think especially with Halloween and spooky season coming up, this might be a hit in your house. That's all for this week, friends. Happy breakfast.
Hey Board Gamers, BJ from Board Game Gumbo here, back on the breakfast. This time taking a look at a game from an IP I absolutely adore. It's Ted Lasso, the party game from Funko Games. The object of the game is for the players to work cooperatively to score 45 morale before the end of 4 rounds. The morale is tracked here on the score tracker in this beautiful representation of Nelson Road Stadium where the Mighty Greyhounds do play. We've got a soccer ball that we can actually roll into the stadium. You'll play all the cards of a particular color that you have in your hand and then use those cards to do actions on the board. If a coach is at one of the locations, you can play those cards to match the symbols. In this particular place, I'm playing Quality Time to match that one. I can play a card to move the coaches around, and I want to do that because wherever the coaches are, that's where we can play cards. And the final thing you can do in your turn is to play any of the rest of your cards to play into self-care. And then what we do is we check into each location to see if we've matched those things up. So going to Sam, he's in Rebecca's office. He's looking for 2 yellows, a blue, and a red, and we've got those here. That would give me 2 rolls of the morale dice. All right, if we don't finish it up and we haven't played any cards to that location, then unfortunately we're gonna have to put out more of these tiles. All the tiles come from the famous biscuit box that Ted Lasso gives to Rebecca each morning. At the end of the round, for every 5 cards you have here, you can also spend those to boost up one morale. Now you can play with a little bit of lagniappe. It's got these event cards and you draw 4 of them out of the box, and these are gonna mark the timer in the game, but each round they're gonna do something different. So as you can see, these add a little bit of fun and flavor to the game. All right, so that's Ted Lasso, the party game. I really like the cooperative real-time element because it's not so long, it's not so stressful, and it really does bring in a lot of the thematic elements from the show. Until next time, laissez les bon temps rouler.
All right, we're taking a look at some stuff that you can buy right now on the Board Game Geek Store. We have some of our promos there too, but there's a lot of cool different things, and some of this stuff is brand new. So Chris, let's show us on the big screen here what new things you can get.
Boyum! This is gray, so this looks great on here actually. These game trays, little 6 token trays with
Yeah,
lids.
I guess these look better for storage, I think, but this is the kind of game that has 6 resources, which, incidentally, a lot of games do.
Yeah.
And then I would put both, if these both fit in the game box, I'd put 2 in.
Right,
That
we
way you
have-
split them.
Yeah, we have 2. I assume they come as a 2-pack, maybe. This is about the size. This is almost like almost 2 wide of like the little square ones that they do.
Now they come one, and you can get them in black, white, gray, or clear. I would not do clear. I think.
No,
I think
I
I
would
would.
do clear.
Actually, I think I would keep the gray because
gray's neutral. It looks good off on pretty much everything except for our nice gray background.
I was
here.
thinking like black as well.
All right, what else we got?
We got a game here. Rokuman.
All right, flip that one over.
100 Years of Samurai History.
Yeah, this is a,
short. Hashtag asymmetrical.
I've actually reviewed
Hashtag
this one.
2-player.
I think it might be one of my 6 short review type things, but essentially, you play some basic games, and the games get increasingly more complex. And think of it almost as those little tokens almost as kind of like a war thing. It's like Marvel Snap. So there's that.
All right, the OG Marvel Snap. Take me down to Dice City.
All right, Dice City from AEG, which is a game in which you roll dice and place them on a grid of buildings depending on what you roll, and then you will upgrade those buildings, trying to make, because you activate the buildings based on what you roll. So the more buildings you upgrade. So in that game just comes with a bunch of cardboard tokens that look just like these. These are upgraded plastic. It's hard to see from here. They definitely look like cardboard in this shot.
It's funny because I love the GeekUp bits, but honestly, the way that these look, you could convince me that those were cardboard from here. Like me looking
Really?
right at them. Yeah, I mean they look almost cardboard, not in a bad way, but like they look just like the tokens from the game.
Okay.
Yeah,
But much
they're
better quality.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're going to show you some more. Oh no, now we're going to coin.
Oh, yeah,
So you
we're going back.
upgrade buildings in the game, and then you upgrade your pieces in the buildings, right?
Yes.
Here we go. Another set of GeekUp bits.
Now this game I love. Fantastic Factories, what a great game. This one also comes with a bunch of cardboard pieces. They're now being replaced. You got the metal, the energy, and then the victory point crates. And then I guess those are the tokens. Yeah, those are tokens that you put next to cards on the board. Those are actually probably my favorite thing. And you know what? I just realized those are definitely, we will
keep those?
we will be keeping those in the game. I forgot about those. Those are great.
Fantastic.
Those are really cool. Yeah. No, I like these. I like these bits a lot. Then we got some coin sets here. Let's start with Eclipse, Second Dawn.
Are those all the same size?
I think
They
those
look
are
like victory
actually, those are
points.
not, yeah, those
Not
are those
coins.
reputation. That's after there's a fight. Whenever you fight a battle, you'll be drawing those tokens to get victory points.
You know, every time I get in a fight, I leave one of those things to the person who wins.
It's your calling card.
I
huh?
never win because, you know, I can't fight.
You're like a criminal with a calling card, except you just keep losing. You're like, here you go. Here's your reward. Everyone else is like, I want metal coins.
You got to get into the missile game is what you need to do. If it's available in the technology market. But it's not always available, which is weird. Anyway, we'll review clips someday. All right, what else we got here? Finally,
The last one.
Among the Stars. I'll tell you this.
I like those.
Whether you like Among the Stars or not, you could just buy these coins.
These
I
look
think,
like
for
really-
a lot of different games.
They're like different sizes, they're different colors.
Yeah. They're very distinguishable.
clear.
They look
Yeah,
like really good
they're clean.
sci-fi coins. I think this is one of my favorite sci-fi sets.
Yeah, they're pretty
that I've
small too.
seen.
If you look at Chris's thumb there, they're not big coins, and I like big coins, but sometimes the smaller coins are much better.
Yeah, the 10s are pretty big, but
Yeah, but
Everything's
honestly, the
very-
10s are the size of a U.S.
very doable.
quarter, maybe even actually a little bit smaller.
yeah.
And so, yeah, I like these. I like these ones a lot, actually.
All right.
There you go.
Well, there you go. That's what you can get at Board Game Geek at their store.
Happy breakfast, everyone. Today I'm going to talk to you about my shelf of shame. It's got a number of games on it, from the Ticket to Ride card game to flip ships and loads of games. Almost too many. In fact, some people would say it is too many. My approach, however, is that I have started to say, right, this week I'm going to try and get this game to the table. One of those games was The Mind Extreme. Now, I'm a huge fan of the original The Mind. I think it's one of the sort of very interesting experiences where you can't talk, you're not supposed to talk, communicate, and you're trying to play cards in order. The Mind Extreme ramps that up. Not only in some rounds are you playing some cards face down, there's 2 piles, one lot of cards going up, one lot of cards going down in different colours. Well, it takes it literally to an extreme level. I'm really glad to have got it to the table, but I'm probably not going to be trying to play that version every time. It's not as simple as the Mind. There's that real sort of simplicity of, look, we're just playing these cards in number order. Here's a card each, level 1, let's go. In the Mind Extreme, you have to sit there and explain things a little bit more, but at the same time, it was that bit of extra fun, or not extra fun, that bit of different fun that you don't get from just playing the Mind over and over again. And I can see some people that played lots of the Mind really vibing with it. Anyway, what game is just off of your shelf of shame? What have you recently got to the table and were either glad or not so glad about it? Let us know, and until next time, enjoy the rest of your breakfast.
Hi, this is Ambi from Board Game Blitz, and today I'm going to talk about The Color Monster, which is a children's game about emotions. This is actually based off a book called The Color Monster. I haven't read the book, so I don't know if that's any good, but I've played the board game, so I can talk about that. So in The Color Monster, you are controlling this color monster and walking around on different spaces on the board that are different colors. Each color represents a different emotion. Happiness, calm, fear, sadness, and anger. So when you go onto a space, you're supposed to say what can make you feel that emotion. So for example, if I go on the yellow space, I can say, playing board games makes me happy. Then you also have a bunch of these jars that have the different colors on them. Plus, this is the bad jar, mixed colors. But you pick one, and then if it matches the color, then yay, you get to put the emotion into the jar. Bottle up your emotions. But if it doesn't match the color, then you just put it back. So there's kind of a memory game in there. And if it's this is bad. This stays face up, and you have to switch 2 of the other jars, so that kind of messes with your memory. And if 3 of these come up, then you lose the game. But there's also this girl. If the girl is on the space with the monster goes onto the girl's space, then she lets you flip over one of these, because she's helping the monster control his emotions. So my kids just turned 3 and got this for their birthday. They don't quite understand all of the emotions yet, or like what makes them feel these emotions, but they do like moving the monster around. You actually have to roll a die and follow the number of spaces, and so they can count like 1, 2 spaces. They don't always move correctly like from the monster's spot, but they do count the correct number as they're moving. And they like trying to find the colors. Again, they do cheat with this, like flipping over multiple bottles to find their favorite color and then match it. And they like putting the emotions inside the bottles. That's fun. So I think right now it's a little bit difficult for them to play, but like with a lot of my help, they can play it by the rules and they enjoy it. And it actually has like really cool, big, chunky pieces. So Color Monster is a really cool game, and it's also very colorful. My kid actually calls it the coloring monster. Kind of like he's coloring with the crayons there. But it's a fun game for kids, and I think it's a good way to start teaching kids about emotions. Thanks for watching Board Game Blitz. Bye.
All right, folks, that's another episode of Board Game Breakfast. Don't forget, Dice Tower East registration goes live tomorrow. Subscribe to the podcast, which is what?
DTV Audio.
Yes. Dice Tower Store has merchandise, and Dice Tower Cruise almost sold out. Dice Tower West tickets on sale. Lots of things for you to do, but also come back in 17 minutes, and Z is going to be playing live in What's Happening. Until next time, I'm Tom Vasel.
I'm Wendy Yee.
I'm Chris Yee.
And there's a contest for wolves at the beginning.
For Skate Summer at the beginning.
Skate Summer.
Skate Summer!
Pandasaurus.
Thanks for watching Board Game Breakfast. Tune in each week for your daily dose of gaming goodness with Tom Vasel and all the gang. Until next time, I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching Board Game Breakfast, a Dice Tower production.